Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Fireside Chat featuring Naman, CEO and co-founder at NodeOps and core contributor at NodeOps Network, although I'm sure that everyone is already aware of who you are. We usually do these Fireside Chats when something big is happening, right? And this time is actually no different. We just went live with our node to credits conversion model, which basically entails that you can now spend your node to purchase credits across the NodeOps network. And we thought it would be suitable to sit down and address the key details and implications of this important development. So, Naman, of course, thanks for joining us. And to get started, situationally speaking, why do you think that now is the right time to actually go live with this important development, right?
The reason why I wanted to, touch base upon this was we wanted to make this live long time back, and we've been putting huge amount of efforts into actually trying something new with this entire economic simulations, doing the right modeling, tested it out, gamified it a bit more. But I believe right now, if you look at it, DePIN ecosystem is rapidly maturing, shifting towards like very stable utility driven tokenomics, and introducing this entire unique model just aligns NodeOps perfectly with this entire market readiness right now, aligning with the expectations of the community and bringing the best practices highlighted by recent analysis as well, and a lot of chats and talks around how to make DePIN more sustainable or to ensure the right economics for it. And this is just one initial 0.01% touch of what we've thought overall. And that's what you see going live with this entire node to credits conversion. Node as a token still remains non-transferable, but yeah, we make it now usable, providing the best benefit to the most earliest users out there. And yeah, test it out. Things are looking good so far. We can clearly see people have um, um, you know taken it as positive approach, and yeah, that's what we wanted to do. And today, this entire flow of making node to credits and the conversion model, the mathematics behind it, I've been onto it with the team for last 3 to 4 months now, and doing as much simulations as possible. I wish I could share all the models that we've tried in terms of literally going through the entire economic simulations as well. And I think it makes that's what makes it, the right time right now to go live, because irrespective of what the market looks like, irrespective of whether we are ready or not, we want to ensure that the earliest users get the maximum out of it. And that's what you saw today going live.
Absolutely. And now I'll let you sort of break down and address and dissect, you could say, a little more the sort of technical foundation, right, of this model, what makes it so unique. As more content was sort of produced internally, right, of how we went about the strategy and communication side of things, which of course involves both of us very actively at the company. Something that stood out to me immediately was how what can I say, innovative, even from a thinking standpoint, it was to bring utility to the token way before the public mainnet consideration was even, you know what I mean, a discussion, right? Because right now it's just about this important development just allows what can I say, the users who were part of the wave one to actually convert them to credits and participate actively and put their node to into credits, sorry, and participate actively in the NodeOps network. So that's something to me, having been in this space for 5+ years, it was just completely foreign as a concept, right? So that was the element of novelty to me. So first, I just think that's incredible and it's super important for the node holders to sort of lead by action, right, as opposed to chatting about new product developments, how is often the case. They're just saying this space. So so yeah, I just wanted to say congrats, of course, to the whole team. And yeah, what are some of the key details, right, about this model that makes it so unique?
Okay, what makes it so unique is the entire, you know, thought process itself right now, the way we've thought about it. Like, first of all, it literally replaces all those speculative approach, all those token pricing talks, all those static, uh, you know, constant chatters around how it's going to look to an actual dynamic gamified credit system. And to the best of my knowledge, even I have not seen this out in the market so far. And that is why, we really wanted to try it out even before the token goes out as liquid in the market, and all those stuff. We ensure that, the initial users that were the reason for what NodeOps is today, and that's handful of 5,000 users, and that's the ultimate, strongest community that I we want to ensure that gets the maximum overall, and that's what we did. But on the same side, we ensured that it clearly remains fair and
Right.
clearly last for a longer time as well. So it kind of uses an exponential decay mechanism, which starts at a higher rate of $0.75 and gradually decreases to a stable floor of zero point 0.1, depending on how the conversion rate per day looks like. I won't get into the maths here, but we've very clearly mentioned those maths, and it's worth reading in the docs as well. This approach is unique because it integrates like a very demand responsive feedback loop here. So based on the real time redemption value, it really makes it adaptive. It really makes it fair. It really makes it balanced. And within the first 20 minutes itself, we saw close to 50K worth of credits conversion already,
Whoa.
right now. And that eventually brings the conversion rate from 0.75 to like zero point 0.2 right now. In real time, I'm seeing it. So,
Really?
like, yeah, so that's the dynamicity here because we've created this entire initial conversion system as like the first phase, and we want to try it out for first 60 days or so. So let's see how it goes and then take the call. So yeah, these are some of the um, reasons we this why it's so unique. One more reason for it is like it's dependent on redemption cap. It ensures a very sustainable and a very steady value distribution to the very deserving users out there. So yeah, that's some of the reasons.
Wow, the traction is incredible. And something else that I also wanted to touch base on was that ever since I've joined NodeOps, right, something that's been a constant, right, like a common denominator, is to always do everything out in the open. So be transparent, just make sure that everything is sort of can be documented, right, and that you can show proof of what you're talking about and what we've done. So that was proof of how we went live with our Dune dashboard to show our revenue numbers, and it's also the case in this instance, right, to actually go live with the maths underpinning the model. So maybe other decision makers would have opted for a more secretive approach and letting the community guess of how we got to the specifics of how the model was actually structured. But I think it's very important and in line with the broader, let's just say, Web3 ethos to do everything out in the open, right? So I wanted to ask you, how important is this for you? Do you intend to keep this mindset with all future developments going forward? And if so, is this a promise that the NodeOps community can hold you accountable to? Because I think it's super important, honestly.
Look, that's been the ethos since day one here. We've ensured we remain transparent. We've ensured that we provide the best benefits looking at our users, not looking at the social numbers at all. Like, we're not here to create that entire like million users community cult or something. It's about million users actually using the product, actually getting some real time use case overall, and thus getting all the value accrual and utility in form of the token. Like at the end, that's why you need a token in the ecosystem as well. So like we've done, and like now with this conversion, it gives huge opportunity for all the early testnet users on NodeOps network as well. Like they could actually understand the case study here of these initial 5,000 users. That is going to encourage the another 700K users that are on testnet today. And like the ratio itself is like so huge now, um, that you could see that benefits are always going to be for people who are early in the ecosystem, and we are still going to do that. We're still going to focus on that. But now, like, what people can do with these credits is literally access everything on NodeOps network, be it deployment, be it renting machines, be it
Right.
consuming future premium tools and features that we're going to introduce. Like, the goal is also to see if we are able to introduce our credits with our ecosystem and partner offerings as well. We are in talks for it with some of the folks. So more value accrual, more utility. That's the goal overall.
Couldn't have said it better. And you also touched on something that I wanted to address with you is that this was for wave one, right? And I've been a part of wave two, and it's been nothing short of, I mean, outstanding, right? And something that I couldn't forecast myself. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we're sitting at 704,000 testnet users, 88K compute providers onboarded, like just crazy numbers, honestly. And of course, the NodeOps family is growing by the day, right? And something that I wanted to ask is your approach gonna deviate a little bit from the one that was sort of used for this specific instance, or everything we do at NodeOps is so scalable that it doesn't really matter, right? The audience that we're dealing with, it's gonna be bottle tested regardless. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, right? Like, now that we're dealing with such a different scale for Wave Two, do you plan on doing things the same way that we've done for Wave One, or some lessons to be taken from the sheer traction that we've witnessed to date with the testnet?
Look, I think we're gonna follow the similar thought process here. Of course, dynamics would change, maths would change. We're doing like regularly Sybil identification here. There are like fucking 9 million wallets connected on testnet today, and I, for the fact, know that 60% of them are bots. But we're literally trying to eliminate them, get rid of these Sybils, and we're gonna make it fair. We're gonna make it truly transparent again in terms of how the conversion looks like, and we'll let community decide. But yeah, one thing that like I don't want to like judge upon is like people acting like, hey, we need the airdrop so that we can dump it, and we can forget about NodeOps. Like, that's not what this entire conversion model focuses on. The conversion model is purely focused on, hey, you want to be our user, you want to drive value to NodeOps network, and in turn get the value accrued to yourself as well. Come in, you're always open for it, and that's the target audience. That's the right set of users we want to attract. So dynamics would change in terms of maths, in terms of numbers, in terms of approach, formulas, and all those things. Thought process, goal still remains same. Will not change into those things at all.
Great to hear. And the ethos that you just described, if you think, I mean, we are deep in protocol, right? But it's a perfect match for the deep in approach, right? In terms of driving, you could say, like a bottom up revolution where you have like a strong core of tight knit believers, right? Who are, you could say that you could be equated to the first wave one participants, right? So the 5,000 NodeOps believers. And then as the network and the product suite just becomes more bottle tested, we grow, right? And as a result, you could say that hopefully the NodeOps growth can be equated to the deepen growth as a movement in general, right? But I think there is a parallel there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The entire ecosystem is going to come together. We can see more contributors joining in. The entire offerings, looks way too diversified today with, this entire renter machine flow coming very soon, with Uno watchers coming soon. Like, there are so many things that has already been deployed, and we're just, now taking time to properly go to market with it. So yeah, like more ecosystem players would get an opportunity to come in and be part of the entire economics as well.
Great to hear. And yeah, sir, I mean, I will chat to you at length about this, but I think one concluding remark would be why do you think that, and why, if you think that this year will be the year of DePIN?
Um, like there's no year for trend, but what I see is now people would start recognizing it. Now people would start understanding why, growing this entire network maturity, having this sustainable tokenomics models, it's actually going to become like mainstream now. We see huge adoption of enterprises, very novel use cases of DeepIn coming out, and that's basically a very good recognition of what the use cases could look like, how the resource could look like, resource consumption could look like, and how the network economics can play around. Like that's what you want the debates on. There is no one side fits all, right? It's always going to
Right.
be more use cases driving more innovative approaches, and thus network economics would play a very important role. And I think now people have started recognizing it. That's why you see a lot of people now finally talking about it. So personally, I believe the next 2 quarters you would see people recognizing DeepIn as one such sector which has got all those checks that you need for sustainability, that you need for token, economics and the dynamics around it, making it mainstream, making it a real world used as well. All of these use cases from the hardware front, physical front, they're actually been consumed in real time and
Right.
in a traditional world. So that's a big one. And I think you know what you observe in Web3 now is like there is a really strong community emphasis on the profitability side of things operationally and having a tangible utility rather than having like speculative returns with 900% APR,
Right.
1200% APR. Like that doesn't make sense. Like now people have finally looked at tangible utilities here, and this positions us as one of the leaders in this. And I cannot be more prouder to say sitting at 3 mil ARR for 2025 still you know gives a huge opportunity for us to scale up and give the best utility and value accrual to all our holders as well. So again, that's why I think next 2 quarters you'll see much more recognition and adoption of DeepIn as a sector. I'm not talking one project here, but this entire DeepIn vertical itself.
Wow, exciting times ahead. So we're done. Is there any specific call to action that you'd like to leave the listeners with? Now's the time for you.
All I would say is just have a look at docs.nodeops.network. That's the best resource right now for you to understand more about. It's a good read, even if you don't find it interesting. I would still recommend to go through the entire conversion model. Would love to hear your thoughts. Would love to have your feedbacks on it. If you believe we can improve it, if you believe we can tweak it accordingly, we're all yours, and you can reach out to us. Absolutely open for it. This approach had been taken after doing huge amount of simulations altogether and aligning so that it doesn't hurt NodeOps as a whole as well. So yeah, happy to chat, happy to look at what your insights are, and especially looking for more feedbacks as much as possible. Stay tuned on this. I think a lot of more interesting releases coming next, and this was like literally step zero of what's next to unlock from NodeOps and contributors overall.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I think a small hint could be for folks to go on your Twitter to understand the different stages, what they can expect. They can speculate accordingly. But yeah, something that you mentioned is extremely important, especially about this development, is it is a collective and a collaborative effort, right? Our product is only as good as the feedback we receive from our users, as we're constantly iterating and refining. So our DMs are always open. You can reach out to us on the official channels on Discord, Twitter, and Telegram. We're literally always all ears to hear from you at all hours of every day. So enjoy, and Naman, it's been a pleasure as always.
Thank you again. Always a pleasure. And yeah, chat soon.